Hello, everybody. So thank you for your interest in this program. We are joined with 4 colleagues from the imrd. So I'm Lynn, I'm the admin coordinator of the imrd. We are joined by Professor Speelman, who's the academic coordinator. And then we have 2 students. So Chico is an alumni and Rosie is a student who's now doing her 2nd year. The talk will be about the content and the mobility structure of this program. And now I will give the floor to Professor Speelman, who will give info about the content and the structure of this program.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to walk you through a presentation about the imrd program. And this presentation will have following parts. So first, I will explain what an Erasmus Mundus Master Program is. Then we will focus on the imrd program and the consortium partners, on the content and the scope of the program, and finally on the program structure and mobility. So first, what are Erasmus Mundus Master Programs? These are master programs which are organized by a consortium of at least 3 European partner universities. And graduating from such a program means that you receive a joint diploma which is signed by the rectors or the chancellors of all of these universities. So you basically get the diploma by studying at different universities. In our case, you study 1 or more semesters at the coordinating university, which is Ghent University, and then at least 1 semester at one of the partner institutions. So mobility is really inherent to these programs. Now, what are the partners of the imrd program? We have 6 core European university partners. Those partners are University of Cordoba from the south of Spain, Agro Institute, Agro Campus West from France, then Ghent University, which is coordinating in Belgium, Humboldt University from Germany, Pisa University from Italy, and then Slovak University of Agriculture from Slovakia. So you see that we are nicely spread around Europe. For the people who cannot or need some insights in how these locations look like, I have some pictures of all of these locations. So this is from Cordoba, from Agrocampus, which is pretty close to the seaside. So you can also visit the seaside. This is Ghent, mainly the university building where our program is taught. Pisa, which is of course very famous for the Tower of Pisa. Slovak University in Nitra in Slovakia, which is close to the mountain ranges. And then Humboldt University in Berlin. Of course, Berlin, a very important city in Germany. So those are some pictures of the places where our program is organized. Now, these are 6 universities, and they are not random universities. No, they are really very good universities. And you can see that both in the topic ranking. So if you look at international rankings on the topic of agriculture, which is related a lot to rural development, then you see that our universities, our partner universities are very highly ranked in that category, but also in general, the partners within the imrd consortium are highly ranked universities. Besides the European partners, we have in our consortium also a number of international associated partners. Those are universities from outside of Europe, which also play a role in our program. This consists of University of Arkansas in USA, Canton University from Vietnam, University of Pretoria from South Africa, Escuela Superior Politécnica del Litoral from Ecuador, and University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, India. So these are international partner universities in our program. Now, what is the content and the scope of our program? So why would you study IMRD? IMRD is a master in rural development. So why are these rural areas, why are they important? Well, first of all, a lot of our planet is still covered by rural areas. So in terms of surface, they are very important. But also in terms of population, a significant share of the world population still lives in rural areas. Then these areas, they are a source of food, fresh water, energy, timber, metals, minerals, and many other resources. So they have a high importance in that side. And finally, they also have an important role because they host ecosystems, biodiversity, and they play an important role for indigenous cultures. So it's important to look at these areas, but these areas are having a couple of challenges. Societal challenges linked to the livelihoods. Often infrastructure and services are poor in these areas. People have lower incomes, but also there are challenges in terms of climate change, land degradation, deforestation, biodiversity loss and fragmentation of natural habitats, poverty, and geographical isolation. So attention and continued investment in rural areas is important. And that is why rural development is high on the political agenda around the world. And for this rural development, you need to train rural development professionals. And that is what the IMRD program is doing. So we try to address these societal challenges by educating young people and by translating the visions for rural development into practice. And how does the program work? Well, first of all, it's comprehensive education. So it's a mix of socioeconomic and basic science courses. It's a mix of skills and also other things. There's practical engagement, so you have a lot of field work, case studies, so you really go on the field, work with people. And there's intercultural exchange through the mobility, but also through the class of people that come from all over the world, which is also a big asset of the program. The IMRD program follows something which is called a T-shaped professional model. So on the bottom, you see that you get awareness of the socioeconomic concepts, theories, and multidisciplinary approaches with respect to societal contribution of rural development. And then you deepen this knowledge on specific topics like food systems, social transitions, governance. And added to that is skill development. Development to analyze problems and solve them, to find tools and instruments, to reflect critically, to work in teams, communication skills, written and verbal. So these are things our program focuses on. And where can you end up as employment with our program? Well, it's very diverse. So a lot of the IMRD graduates pursue an academic career in PhD or at university. Others end up in government as policymakers or in rural development organizations like NGOs or international research organizations, or in the private sector linked to agri-food value chain. How does the structure and the mobility within our program look like? Well, we have 3 pods. And these pods are centered around 3 themes: agri-food systems, social transitions, and governance and sustainability. There's 4 semesters and a case study in the middle. And in the first semester, there's an entrance model in Ghent University, and all students start in Ghent University from the 3 pods. Then the second semester is the first advanced model, And the student group is split in 3 parts. The part on agri-food system, they stay in Ghent. Then the part on social transitions, they go to Slovak University of Agriculture. And the students that follow the governance and sustainability path go to University of Cordoba. Then between the 2 academic years of the master, there's a summer case study, which is organized at Pisa University, Slovak University of Agriculture, and also in the Global South. And then you have a 3rd advanced semester for agri-food system that takes place in Pisa University, for social transitions in l'Institut Agro-Rennes, and for governance and sustainability at Humboldt University. And then finally, at Master of Science, so a thesis, a master dissertation is also very important. So the final semester is dedicated to the master dissertation, and students conduct their master dissertation under guidance of staff of one of the universities at which they studied in their track. Now, I mentioned the international partners in the IMRD consortium. Well, these international partners offer a window for international exchange. So you have Global South advanced modules in Cantu, Espol, and Pretoria, which are especially for Vlir scholarship students, which is a scholarship that is provided by Flemish Development Corporation. But you also have a Global South case study, which is open to all students. And then we have also a couple of double degree programs. So a cooperation between the IMRD consortium and a university in another place of the world. And those 2 double degree programs are the Atlantis program, which is a cooperation with University of Arkansas, and the ERUDEV program, which is a cooperation with Espol. We also have windows to connect you to the work field. So an internship it's possible to conduct an internship for credits within the program. Or you can also do your master dissertation in collaboration with some non-academic partners. So there are several CGR centers, such as IRI, ICRAF, who are affiliated partners from our consortium. There's also FAO, and there's also a couple of NGOs at which often students conduct master dissertations, such as Ricolto. So I hope that I've given you a good sight of what our program looks like. So the next speaker is Michiko, who graduated in our program 2 years ago. So I will stop sharing and give her the floor.
Thank you so much, Stain and Lean, for organizing this event. Now I am going to share my presentation. So, hello everyone. My name is Michiko Paulette Alhas, but you can call me Chiki. It's such a pleasure to be here and share what it's really like to be part of the International Master of Science in Rural Development, or IMRD, as we fondly call it. The learning, the people, and the unforgettable experiences that come with it. So let me introduce myself. As Stain mentioned, I was part of the IMRD 2022 to 2024 cohort. I am from the Philippines, and I was a recipient of the Erasmus Mundus track. And at that time, I joined the society track. My mobilities were in Ghent University, l'Institut Agro-Rennes Angers in France, and Slovak University of Agriculture in Nitra, where I did my case study. And nowadays, I am a potter. I do ceramics. No, just kidding. This was taken during the case study here last summer, but I am doing a PhD in economics and management with a focus on integrated rural development at the Slovak University of Agriculture in Nitra. So when you join a program like this, you quickly realize that it's so much more than just classes and deadlines. Of course, you'll find yourself dealing with difficult but interesting topics as well. You would also have deep discussions and sometimes spend late nights trying to finish a group project or prepare for a presentation. Like what you can see here, everyone is really hard at work in some of our classes. One of the most meaningful parts of the experience for me was learning how to listen. In group work, you learn that ideas are not just about who speaks the loudest. They come alive when you truly try to understand where others are coming from. Sometimes that meant slowing down, being humble, and admitting that I don't know this or I don't know that. That's okay, because that's part of growing up. And you'll meet people from all over the world, people who think differently, cook differently as well, and see life differently. One moment you're deep in discussion about global development, and the next you'll be laughing over coffee or planning a weekend trip together. Some of my favorite memories aren't from the classroom, but from those spontaneous times, like maybe hiking after exams or sharing home cooked meals with your classmates, celebrating someone's birthday with a mix of languages and music from a number of different countries, because people really come from different countries all over the world, as well as friendship that grows stronger with every shared challenge. You would also have opportunities to meet animals. You will have farm and field visits, such as these ones. But what makes it special is how much you learn from each other. Every person brings a different perspective, and that diversity becomes your greatest teacher. You start to see that there isn't just one way to solve a problem or to communicate or to see the world, but you grow by not only gaining knowledge, but by understanding expanding your understanding of people. And it's not always easy. There are moments when things feel uncertain or overwhelming, but that's also where growth happens. You learn how to adapt, how to listen, and to collaborate across various differences. And most importantly, you learn how to balance between studying hard and enjoying the little moments that make it all worthwhile, like what we are all doing here in these photos. So we're not only just academics, guys, we are also enjoying a lot. We do sports, kayaking in Ghent, badminton, parties, international evenings, cooking each other's cuisines, going to different places, seeing different countries. Those little moments make it all worthwhile. In the end, what you gain goes far beyond the diploma that you will receive at the end. You become more confident, more open-minded, and more grounded in who you are. So if I have convinced you to apply yet, here's something to keep in mind. Know who you are, know what you want, and approach every opportunity with intention and purpose. Be curious or say yes to new experiences like what I did here. I was able to access institutions such as the University of California in Davis and SPU or SUA, Slovak University of Agriculture, where I'm doing my PhD and currently doing my PhD. Because in the end, it's not really just the academics that you have gained. You've also gained beautiful experiences. You've gained memories. You've gained friends. And the beauty of this program is it helps you grow not only as a scholar, but as a person who learns, connects, and enjoys the journey along the way. Good luck and thank you. And good luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you for your kind words and to share your experience as an alumni. Then we're going to listen to the story of Rosie, who's now in her second year. The floor is yours, Rosie.
So thank you, Lean, for the introduction. I am going to talk a little bit about first why I chose the program, some of my favorite things about the program, and then maybe why you should decide to do this program as well. So coming from the United States, it's very expensive to do a master's program, and one of the great options of doing this is that it was more affordable for me and I got to live on another continent, which was very cool. I also chose the program because of the multidisciplinary aspect of it. I had a very different background than many of my classmates who maybe had studied agronomy, whereas my background was more in international relations. But one of the great things about the program is that like I said, it is multidisciplinary. So your classes are in sustainable food systems, sociology, economics, sustainability, project management. You're looking at rural development from a lot of different perspectives. And I really liked that aspect, as well as the opportunity to study in multiple countries. And you're not just studying in these countries, you're really living there. And so there's this cultural immersion aspect of doing the IMRD program that I think you don't really get the opportunity to do outside of an international master's or an Erasmus Mundus program. So living in beautiful Ghent for a year, it was great being able to experience the public transportation, the difference in academic classes and how they do exams, trying different foods. And then also, as Chiki mentioned, your classmates are from all over the place too. So you get to try a lot of different foods that your classmates make. And there's a lot of that sharing of culture, not just in the place where you're studying, like right now I'm in France, but also with your classmates who are from around the world. The other aspect that Chiki had mentioned was the field trips, the hands-on experience that you get. So being able to visit different types of farms, from community-supported agricultural farms that are growing organic vegetables to animal agriculture. Here in Rennes, over the last couple of weeks, we visited a couple of different nonprofits and public programs that work in public procurement or in short food supply chain distribution, which is very cool to see all of these different options and also to see all of the different career paths. You really get an in-depth idea of what a sustainable food system looks like and how to implement that in rural areas as well as in peri-urban areas. And then lastly, I've kind of mentioned it, but with the international aspect of the program, everyone is very willing to meet each other and to get to know each other and be friends. And it's not just the people in your program, especially again, there's so many activities where you can meet people from other programs within the same faculty. There's lots of events like not treasure hunts, but go and find events around the city and food events and sports at the different universities. And it's a great way to meet people, feel like you're part of a community. And the program is 20 years old. So it's not just the people in your program, it's the people that have been in the IMRD program over the last couple of decades. So lastly, why you should do it. If you're looking for a way to advance your career by getting a master's program, this is a great option. There's lots of opportunities to network. If you want to go further with a PhD, there's a lot of support within the program for that. And if you want to learn from a multidisciplinary perspective, I think that this is a great program for that as well. So thank you so much for the time to share about my experience. Lean, if you want to take the floor.
Yes. Thank you all for your participation in this event. I just added in the chat if applicants should have more questions or specific questions, they can always contact applications.itc@ugent.be. So ITC, that means the International Training Center. Here at our faculty, we have like 10, 12 colleagues who are all part of the same team. And when students starts in September, like the first 3 weeks of September, we are always organizing like takeoff activities. We do sessions about the traffic in Ghent, how it is living in Ghent, in Belgium. So also those takeoff activities are always really highly appreciated by students because you have a full immersion of what it is to study in Ghent. Students, they learn to know each other. There are also social activities. So that's really an asset for Ghent, and then IMRD is a part of that. Also important when you apply as an IMRD student, you also have to add a motivation letter. We have to read those, and it's really important that you stress out that this program is a program of mandatory international mobility. It's not only Ghent who organizes this. We are the coordinator, but it's important also to stress out that it's a consortium and that your mobility path is via multiple partners. So If you want to add something, Steen, okay, then I suggest that we end this meeting. Thanks everybody for speaking and for listening. And we're really hoping that we can see you in Ghent September 26. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.